Well, hello and welcome back to my channel. Yes, my name is Joanne. I'm a law student from Australia, and I want to thank you for joining me today. Many of you'll be watching this on replay crew, and I really want to thank you for your support. This is an interesting one. I wasn't going to do anything today, but Katie Joy made it on was interviewed on a network today involving Ruby Frankie. I hope I spelt that correctly. I have a few interesting observations about the interview. There's been lots of comments on the page, and she has subsequently talked about trolls. So again, in my opinion, she's making it all about her. So let's have a look at what she said on her Instagram. Then I want to watch what she posts, watch the story, and then I want to tell you a few things that I that were interesting, particularly when she can't look directly straight at the camera. I mean, that's, to me, I actually wondered whether it was a recorded video that they used, or whether, I'm not sure that was a live video. She was saying that she did an interview. Well, I'd be very embarrassed if that was my interview. So here's what she posted on here. So she wrote here, today I interviewed with Fox 13 Now regarding the CA Ruby Frankie bragged about on her channel. I also need to put a trigger warning on here as well, because we know that this is, without a crystal ball's favorite subject. Many independent journalists like me tried to report the situation based upon statements made by her and her kids. When we reported, we were threatened with lawsuits. Her lawyer accused me of causing a bogus CPS investigation. Thanks to Fox 13 Now, reporter Lucy Nelson, for the time she took to speak with me today. And then there's all these comments on here about that. And then she just posted this little bit here.
Passengers.
Emaciated, deep lacerations from being tied up with rope, duct tape around hands and wrists. This is the state two of Ruby Frankie's children were in by police after her son escaped through the window of a home and ran to a neighbor for help.
Now, she shared this on her Instagram.
At home belonging to Frankie's business partner, Jody Hildebrandt.
This is to a level.
Now, did you see that? She's looking up. If she's being interviewed live, why on earth is she looking around?
That I don't think anyone understood. And it's shocking. But it's not surprising. I don't know if that makes sense.
Independent journalist and YouTuber Katie Paulson tracks child abuse.
I thought she was, it's funny, it says that she tracks CA victims, but I thought, why on earth are they showing her page of the Browns? Anyway, hello, Angela, how are you? This is bizarre, right? Apparently she tracks CA victims.
Cases. She says Frankie's YouTube channel, 8 Passengers, caught her attention.
And she was saying how she would send her daughter to school with no food. And it was bragging about it.
She recalls another time when Frankie's son openly talked about his punishment on the channel.
He was talking about how he had been sleeping on the floor on a beanbag chair and how his mom had taken away his bed.
Why do you look up if you're having an interview? Why wouldn't you be facing and looking at the camera? And I'm assuming it was done via Zoom, or, why wouldn't you be looking at that? Why do you need to be looking around?
And is taken away his door, and how he had been sent away to this wilderness camp.
She wasn't the only one who noticed concerning interactions in the videos. Diane Nevins remembers being horrified at what she was watching on YouTube.
It was kind of like every...
Now, this woman here, in my opinion, she at least looks at the camera, and she's a lot better, in my opinion, than the other one.
Video, there was something to be shocked about. Her son couldn't walk until he was 2.5 years old, and she never got him any help. And she admitted that she had at one point he'd fallen off the couch or she dropped him. But he had gotten no physical therapy, anything.
Nevins says when she commented her concerns, she
Hey, Bo, how are you? Angela says, doing good in my opinion. Katie wants attention. It's all about, yes. Well, we'll have a look at her Instagram, but I'm just showing you, this is what she's posted. We'll look at the YouTube video in more detail, but she's also been live as well.
She was blocked by Frankie. Paulson also saying when she did a report on what Frankie and her kids were saying in the videos, she was threatened to be sued. She forwarded me an email from Frankie's lawyer sent in 2020 that says, in part, we represent the family vlog channel 8 passengers who continue to be harmed by defamatory videos uploaded to YouTube by your client, and saying it resulted in a baseless visit by Child Protective Services.
They always say, if you see something, say something. And in this case, when people said something, they were threatened.
Isn't that what Katie does? If people see something, they say something. People hear stuff in her videos, or they've said stuff because they've been concerned about stuff that they've heard in their videos, particularly with her son, and she's gone off at them. So does she want us to, if we see something, to say something, or does she want us to be quiet?
I mean, so many other people besides me received letters from those attorneys. And
8 passengers was taken down earlier this year, and that's when Frankie partnered with Jody Hildebrandt, a licensed therapist, in a channel called Connections, where they gave parenting and life advice. Here they are pictured in Hildebrandt's home, the same place Frankie's son escaped from, and where her daughter was found being held captive in the basement.
it's heartbreaking. And I think it's heartbreaking for the community that watched this family, knew that something was wrong.
In Salt Lake City, Lucy Nelson, Fox 13 News, Utah.
So, yes. So that was her, she said, you know, and her reaction. So then she's done all of this. And then she's gone, because she's got all the court records, of course. Here she says here, don't mind the eyebrows. I lost them due to an infection, apparently. There she is. I thought she did one where she said,
on the second floor.
Oh, she's using video. No way. From via TikTok. She's taking other people's content. I thought she was saying that must be on her Facebook, unless she's taken it down. But I saw a post where she said about the fact that the trolls were out in force, apparently. So let's have a look at the comments. I really want to look at the comments under here because this is the video now. And then we'll go see what because Llama Girl posted the her Instagram live, which we'll look at. So this is the channel. So here we go. Some of the comments. I'm going to try and make this a bit bigger for you so you can see it. I'm going to disappear for a minute. So you'll have to just listen to my voice. Vetting your source should be a basic requirement of your work. Why would you interview a woman like Katie Paulson, who is extremely problematic and is currently in multiple lawsuits for lying? You lose credibility. I can't believe you wouldn't vet your sources before interviewing someone like without a crystal ball. I'm shocked, to be honest. She's been involved in several lawsuits for defamation, including an ongoing one. She has said terrible, hurtful things about so many people in her own audience and those who don't believe exactly she does. She has time and time again shown that the values that she has said she had at the beginning of her channel are no longer what she believes in, and you are just giving her a wider audience to harm. It's shameful. KJ is one and the same. Can you please give a single example instead of saying something as true without any sources? Nobody knows this woman. I can't post examples in here in a comment section. Hello, trash bag fashion lover. But a quick search on YouTube or Reddit search will keep you busy for days. Endless explains of KJ's problematic behavior, including questionable parenting decisions. Please wear a bin bag as clothing now while we chat. Yeah? Okay. It says apparently she's been sued for the 4th time. I don't trust anyone who makes money of broadcasting personal lives of their children. They clearly didn't do a shred of due diligence to see who Katie was. Yet Fox platforms did no research. Katie Joy started a family vlog and but got no views. He's posting about her son saying the most horrible things, like he's ruined Mother's Day because she doesn't have a normal, healthy child. And Mother's Day is a day that reminds her of that. She's a monster. So someone saw something and said something. This is beyond unacceptable, and someone needs to be held accountable. You interviewed a YouTuber who's on a live stream with hand gestures showed how to aid minors in an appropriate manner. She was too afraid to cover the Frankie family for years, while other YouTubers like Marky and Bill Sesh covered them without fear. Without the crystal ball, enjoys talking about A because she gets sick satisfaction from it. I would think you would vet your sources better. She's no journalist. She's no cult expert. If you really cared about these kids, you'd make a correction and denounce her. These kids will see the things she said about abuse victims of all natures and will be harmed once she shames them and makes fun of them. Those 2 women are all smiles. They're despicable. WOACB is no journalist. I can't believe you did not research on her before you put her on your video. I was surprised to see Katie Joy. WOACB uses as a contributor to your story. She has a very shady past here on YouTube. She's been involved in several lawsuits for defamation and has spoken about her parenting of her son that borders on abuse and neglect. I'm disappointed you used her as a source. I think it's horrible. Katie Paulson had a big smile when she said the child was sleeping on the floor and the bed taken away. Shame on you. It is cruel for a child sleeping on the floor. Why was she smiling? She was probably thinking it was funny because her son has to sleep with her and doesn't get his own bed. I said the same thing. She's disgusting. I cannot believe they used it. You can see the glee in her eyes when she thinks of a child being harmed every single time. Not Katie Joy, literally the worst spokesperson. Was going to write something similar. You know, she's in pure glee for being part of this. KJ is the worst YouTuber to have as a reference. Why does she laugh when talking about Ruby's cruel punishment to her son? Is this the voice you really want to give on your platform, Fox? It is now funny that the poor child didn't have Is it now funny that the poor child didn't have a bed to sleep in for months? That's what she does. She did the same thing on her channel when talking about the abuse Josh Duggar did to his sister. She's no journalist. Trash bag, how do you know that I'm not wearing one? You can't see my face. Please do not use Katie Joy as a source. She's hurt a lot of people. She's been sued and is being sued. She's a very mean person that uses stories like these to make money and exploit children. Please do a better job of vetting your sources. It's hard to trust a station that did not do a simple Google search on someone they used as part of their story. Katie Paulson has been sued multiple times. So all these comments here. Paulson is not a journalist, and while I appreciate your coverage of this situation, you should not use one toxic person to cover another toxic person. Paulson has more instances of serious defamation and tries to use them. And The term journalist to justify careless spreading of lies and doxing of individuals. Please do not give her a platform to continue her reckless behaviour. I am not stating that Paulson is incorrect in this particular situation. Even a clock is right twice a day. However, she should not be cited as a credible witness, a reference with a long and sordid history as she's got. So, won't watch a channel that puts a YouTuber smiling about a child sleeping on the floor. So there's lots of comments here. Your story loses credibility when you have Katie Joy Paulson as the source. A couple of years ago, Katie Joy said this family was irrelevant to her and that she would never cover them, period, because they threatened to sue her. Then she said she wouldn't cover them because they are YouTubers and she didn't want the drama. I guess it's easier now to exploit their abuse. So then we've got, I cannot believe, but no, not really, that she was smiling at 1:15 when she was speaking about the CA of a child, that he didn't have a bed to sleep on, but of course she did. And it was through her pleasure. Let's have a look. 1:15. All right, let's go to 1:15 here. You can be the judge of it. I'm always distracted. I get distracted very, very easily. Always. Okay, here we go. 1:16, 1:15. All right, let's have a look. 1:15. So let's have a look. See. All right. Oh, there's a
And
smile.
how his mom had taken away his bed and has taken away his door, and how he had been.
Look at that smile.
About how he had been sleeping on the floor on a beanbag chair, and how his mom had taken away his.
Did you see that? And then she's looking up. She's looking up again. All right, we're going to slow this down.
He had been sleeping on the floor on a beanbag chair.
Look at that smile.
And how his mom had taken away his bed and has taken away his door.
Wow, did you see
And
that?
how he had been sent away to this, like, well, mom had taken away. He had been sleeping on the floor on a beanbag chair, and how his mom had taken away his bed.
I'm following what you were saying. I'm glad Ruby has fallen, but sad the children had to suffer. I find the thing, my issue is some of the comments here are saying to them, you know, they should have. It's great that you're covering this, but as the person said, she said she wasn't going to touch it. She wasn't going to stay away. She was going to stay away from the story. But the other interesting thing that they said about her channel was that she covers CA, which is not what she says. Let's have a look again. Was it here?
Two of Ruby Frankie's children were found in by police after her son escaped through the window of a home and ran to a neighbor for help. That home belonging to Frankie's business partner, Jody Hildebrandt.
This is to a level that I don't think anyone understood. And it's
Okay, and I don't understand again, why does she need to? If she's been interviewed, why isn't she looking at the camera? Why is she looking around?
Hildebrandt.
this is to a
Why is she looking
level that I
around?
don't think anyone understood. And it's shocking. But it's not surprising. I don't know if that makes sense.
Independent journalist and YouTuber Katie.
Now look, independent journalist and YouTuber. She got have a look at what they say here about her.
Independent journalist and YouTuber Katie Paulson tracks child abuse cases. She says.
So here is the other thing. They've just said that she tracks CA cases, and there's the Brown family. What's the Brown family have to do with CA cases? And you can see there that they've searched her. Up the top, you can see in the search bar, summer has hit and plastic remains sticky. So the second story here is her Frankie story, but this one, the top one, says finally calls out on his BS during explosive fight. Stop gaslighting me. What does that have to do with? It says that she tracks. Let's have a listen. What they say again about her. And then how does that fit into a 7M narrative?
Independent journalist and YouTuber Katie Paulson tracks child abuse cases. She says Frankie's.
So how does that fit into her 7M coverage then?
YouTube channel 8 passengers caught her attention.
And she was.
Hi, Nikki. How are you? So that's what I want. So again, I'll take it back.
Not surprising. I don't know if that makes sense.
Independent journalist and YouTuber Katie Paulson tracks child abuse cases. She says Frankie's YouTube channel 8 passengers caught her attention.
And she was saying how she would send her daughter to school with no food. And
I'm actually not. I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but there are so many kids at the moment going to school without food at the moment because parents don't have it. And there are breakfast clubs in Australia, in particularly, there are breakfast clubs at the moment where kids are going to school without breakfast, and there are charities going into schools to cook breakfast for kids to make sure that they eat.
And it was almost like she was bragging about it.
She recalls an.
So, you know, I don't want to make light of it, but my point is that in this day and age at the moment, we're locked. I'm just fascinated by the fact that she got an interview, and I don't still understand how, if she's talking to a screen, why she's looking around the place. And particularly when she knows that everything that she said is out there. So Fox 13 has really copped a battering. And the smile, as we looked at, the smiling about the boy not sleeping, who had to sleep on the floor, I just find to be absolutely bizarre. You know, why on earth are you smiling about that? I don't think it's a smiling matter. Hi, Short Order Cook, how are you? So, gee, Llama Girl's been busy, hasn't she? I'm just, yeah. So someone's put the transcript up as well. Story, but it says Katie Paulson, a YouTuber and independent journalist. So here it says, so she's also removed the joy, so she's not joyful. She's not joyful. But yeah, that's the story there. And she's got rid of the Kate. So she's Katie Polston, a YouTuber and independent journalist, spoke with Fox 13. That's why, I mean, for me, her demeanor does not come across as a journalist, because a journalist knows how to talk to camera. Generally, they know how to conduct themselves when they're asked questions. They know they know there's a rule that they say where you don't ever ask a question you don't know the answer to, generally. And if you've done your research, you'll know what the answer is. So at some point in time, they would have said, this is what we want to talk to you about. So I know you keep asking me to wear a bin bag. I've got one here. Look. It is unused. It's brand new. It's brand new. Oh, dear. Oh, okay. Oh, she's deleted her post. So according to Llama Girl, she deleted her post. But, of course, it's been... where was it? Because I saw it and I didn't take a screenshot of it, of course. But I thought, I thought I'd come live and talk about it. Well, she got interviewed. Short order cook, independent journalist. Yes, she's made it on Fox 13 News. And then she said to everybody to stop harassing her because it's not about her. Oh dear. Yeah, it's quite amusing. But when she was doing the interview, she was looking all over the place like she was a deer stuck in their headlight. Or in our case, a kangaroo stuck in a headlight. There we go. You knew Fox was tanking in the rankings. Yes. They had another... Fox News sucks anyway. She did look like an idiot rolling her eyes like that. So anyway, she says... she said her favourite trolls appeared. So she shared this. This was on her... This has been deleted. My favourite trolls have appeared, she said. Why does she laugh when talking about Ruby's cruel punishment to her son? And then she's got here. So these are some of the things. And she's gone... Oh, look, my favourite stalkers show up to harass Fox 13 now. YouTube about this horrible story of Frankie's abused children. Their gaslighting and lies proves their narcissism. Having 25 fake accounts doesn't make the accusations real. I hate these people. Move on. My son is not exploited, abused, and lives an amazing life. Oh dear, she should be grateful anyone showed up. Trolls and stalkers are her friends. That's right. So all these people, she says, I mean, she's now deleted that. So that's interesting that she deleted that part. She's deleted that post. But, you know, some of the people there that she's tagged as trolls will be very, very impressed that they've got their back in her head. Oh, dear. Queen of delete. Yes. Well, it was interesting because she also complained that YouTube took down the videos and they should be preserving them for evidence. All right. So let me go miss. So let's have a look at this. This is what she did share. Have a look at this. Thank you to Llama Girl. So here she is live. Here she is with her face.
I just want to see if people like get excited because they see my face. I'm showing my face. Hello. It's me.
I've wondered that too, to order cook. Did she have cheeking pants? Because her cheeks look a lot more fuller. Oh. Hey, it's me. A journalist. Oh boy. All right. Oh boy. Oh, that's funny. Oh dear. I don't know Jax, but she's a journalist. Remember, she's an independent journalist. Oh dear me. Okay. All right, so here it is. This is what I saw. It says, please, if you could leave supportive comments for the whatever children who were victimized by Ruby Frankie on the Fox 13 now, so they can see those comments instead of these trolls. It's about A and not me. If you could leave supportive comments. Could you imagine? No. She said, so let me read this again, and then I'll tell you how I've interpreted it. Please, if you could leave supportive comments for the ABUSED children who were victimized by Ruby Frankie on the Fox 19 now, so they can see those comments instead of these trolls. It's about the A and not about me. Is she saying that Ruby Frankie ABUSED the children on Fox 13 now? Because that's what it says. Or is my interpretation of that wrong? Because, and again, this is a really silly mistake from a journalist. Not now, I can't. It was pretty good. Is that how she's interpreted it? That it happened on the show section. Since the children are going to see her comment section. Well, I think she's hoping that we're victimized by Ruby Frankie on Fox 13 now. But she wasn't on the news station. I think she means on their YouTube page, but that's not what she says. That's not what she says. I think leave supportive comments. Okay, your cheeks and nose look different. Actually, do you reckon she's had her nose done? It would suit the time frame, wouldn't it? Oh, yeah, look, that's a better picture. And we've even got down below here, look, the difference.
I just want to see if people like get excited because they see my face.
Not really.
I'm showing my face. Hello. It's me.
You reckon something's been done? It looks like her cheeks are a bit bigger too, but you know, I'm not speculate on people's issue. I'm not one to speculate about people's what people have had done. But it's quite bizarre. It's very interesting. I'm just trying to download the live because it did record. I'm just trying to grab it now, and so I can download it and then put it on so we can have a look at it. But yeah, it's definitely weird. I'm cool with whatever she had done, but it was an eye infection. Well, apparently she lost her eyebrows, but there have been photos going on to say that she didn't have eyebrows anyway. So. And apparently, Fox was deleting people are saying that Fox was deleting the comments. She thinks if enough time goes by, we won't be able to tell. She never learns the internet is forever. True. Correct. So I think it's sad on both counts because you've got a family, you've got somebody that is facing convictions for some very serious crimes, but then you've got somebody that gets involved whenever there seems to be needing to be she just seems to try and get involved whenever there's money to be made. And remember that she said that if you see something, you should say something. And people have been saying something all the time. You know, and she said that her son has an amazing life. Once again, she's talked about her son. She could have just left it. You don't have to mention him in order to say he's having a good life. But she's brought him up again. So, all right. I'm going to see if I can send this video to my computer and see whether we can. Did anyone see the Instagram live or not? It's 28 minutes. I know that much. So if I can airdrop it. I think she's only just got back on the bandwagon, Bo. I think she just got back on the bandwagon because there was money to be made. Let's have a look. Because she says she told Fox, whatever it was, that she got a oh really? As normal, she's normal, is she? Yeah. She's really bad, is she, Nikki? Oh, great. Oh well. I've got some time. Well, actually, I'm procrastinating. I've got 2,000 words to find for my essay, and I'm just procrastinating. It's on evidence law, and about why we approximate law is used rather than absolute law. Which is, I mean, there's arguments that if you want the truth, you should be able to find the truth, but often it's beyond reasonable doubt or on the balance of probability, and so that makes it approximate law. And then what is truth, and then how much of a burden would it be on the courts if they did go for full truth? Oops. If they went for full truth and not approximate truth. Yeah, so it's a big well, they kind of did it. Right, let me just grab this. I just need to move this across to another side. All right, hopefully this is here now. Yeah, so that's what my essay's on, just in case you're wondering what I'm doing. Right, here we go. I've got it here. We're going to go and watch her live. Don't think I can speed it up though. Yes, I can. Playback speed. All right, we can speed it up. Here we go.
I just want to see if people like get excited because they see my face. I'm showing my face. Hello. It's me.
Even the dog's going, please don't. Hello, the official Polaris.
Hi. My hair is really long. Yeah, it's really long. It is my face. I had to put on makeup because I did a interview with Fox 13 in Salt Lake City. And so I had to get creative and try to find a way to cover my eye.
Cover, oh, wait on. Cover her eye.
Oh, thank you for the badge. So the reporter from Fox 13 contacted me this morning, and I was working out, so I had to jump in the shower and then put on makeup, and I didn't have time to like blow dry or anything.
Oh, it's a hard knock life for us. Most of us have to get up and have a shower and most of us get up and have a shower every day.
Yeah, this is like, there's gray hairs. I just threw it over. I was like, maybe I'll just go on Instagram. I had a staph infection, so you can't really see it.
Oh, is it here? Can I make this bigger? No. So that's what it's like small. I'm just seeing if I can zoom in.
But yeah, it's still there. Like there's a nice big scar. But yeah, it's like I lost all of my eyebrows. It's still a little bit swollen.
Or did you have an eye lift?
I really would rather not talk about what happened to my eye. I just got infections from yeah. It's covered up, but yeah.
Dog's not happy.
I definitely did not get plastic surgery. My Botox is like kind of like I need to get it touched up, but I can't. And I didn't get my nose done. I did a lot of comfort eating while I wasn't feeling good, so I gained a little bit of weight. That's about it. That's Frida. Yeah, my husband's about to take my son's friend home, so I'm gonna have to go, but I just wanted to.
She says she's got to go, but this goes for another 28 minutes. So, yeah.
Yeah, I need to get my Botox redone. So, so I just wanted to jump on here real quick because Ruby and Jody were charged in Washington County. They were actually indicted, and it includes 6 charges of aggravated child abuse, and it's for RF and EF. And
all right, trigger warning, okay? Trigger warning. I think I've got my KJ trigger warning here somewhere. Hang on. Here it is. Here's my trigger warning. So there's a trigger warning.
And as far as like the other children, as far as I know from what has been reported from police is that they were located and they appeared to be unharmed. They're a little bit older. But the abuse of RF and EF is severe. RF's charges, the first count actually includes physical torture. So
didn't she swear it wasn't? Well, I'm sure she said it was an infection from her eyebrow. She said it was an infection on her eyebrow and it wasn't staph. You are correct. So now we're back to staph. We're back to the beginning. Oh, we're back to confused, hey? I plan to create.
I had a hard time reading it because the indictments are identical for them. And it says it's knowingly inflicted upon a child RF serious physical injury or having the care or custody of the child caused or permitted another to inflict serious physical injury upon said child. And
if you're going to talk about the fact she's talking fast, I've sped it up. I've got it on 1.75. So I've got it on fast.
Such physical injury included physical torture. The second count was related to his malnutrition, and it said that it was such serious physical injury includes any conduct that results in the starvation of or failure to thrive or malnutrition that jeopardizes the child's life. So the malnutrition for the 2 children was so severe, their lives were in danger. And then count 3 is for the emotional abuse of the injuries causing developmental or emotional harm, to severe developmental delays or intellectual disabilities or severe impairment of the child's ability to function.
The only good thing is that she's not laughing here.
So there's 6 counts, 3 for each child. For EF, physical torture is not included, although for her count, there's a 6 count 6 says that any such physical injury includes any combination of 2 or more physical injuries inflicted by the same person, either at the same time or on different occasions.
Plan to Create says she can't keep up with her own lies. When is YouTube going to wake up? Well, that is the question, isn't it? When are they going to wake up?
So EF was physically abused, but not tortured, but it was severe abuse. And there was 2 or more physical injuries caused to EF as a result. It's not uncommon for a child that's been abused to be incredibly scared to talk to law enforcement, and specifically in these kinds of cultures and cults, the law.
Oh, we're talking about cults again. Is Franco in a cult, alleged cult, or not?
Is not trustworthy, and so they've likely been scared to speak to outsiders. She's probably been told her whole life not to trust anyone, not to listen to anyone, that they're not there to help her. And it's also not uncommon for children that are abused to be bonded to their abuser. So even though the child has been severely abused by Jody, she might feel bonded to her as a form of Stockholm syndrome, where she sends like a level of empathy and concern. So she's probably trauma bonded to them, sadly. But I just want to be like clear that like I know they keep saying that the children are safe and that like they're all reunited. I don't know where that information is coming from, but according to the affidavit, RF is in the hospital because he's severely malnourished and he's has severe serious injuries. He had been tied up with a rope and he had severe injuries as a result of that.
Did we really need to know? Like, can't you just say that he's in hospital for treatment?
So I'm assuming that the torture, well, the sister doesn't know. I mean, they're not reunited.
There are so many assumptions there, Plan to Create. And I'm actually doing my current unit is evidence law, and there's so much that would not be able to be admitted by it coming out of her mouth because, particularly in Australia, you know, you've got to have a specialised knowledge. What would her specialised knowledge be?
He's in the hospital, and the children are not. I mean, just because they're away from their abuser doesn't mean that they're like all better. This is literally stating that the abuse was so severe it caused emotional harm, severe developmental delays, or intellectual disability or severe impairment of the child's ability to function. I think you just need to kind of temper whatever the family says at the time because they're likely in shock. This is not average run.
Hey, Terry. Yeah, I came on really early, but so this has come about because our favourite reporter got interviewed by Fox 13, and it's at the start, and then she's been on live. She went live to tell everybody she's been interviewed.
The mill child abuse. This is child torture, and when you have cases like this, yes, the kids have been removed from their abuser, but they're dealing with the injuries still.
That is true. Specializing in how to get sued. Correct. Short article. Yes. So for an example, a medical doctor can talk about a medical condition, but they can't talk about the psychological aspect of the patient unless they were treating that patient. But then, they can't talk about circumstances as to which it was done. You can only talk about the actual stuff that's related to your area of specialization. That's evidence law in Australia.
I spoke to a reporter at Fox 13, and she said that the children were so emaciated that it's not even like failure to thrive. Like they were emaciated, like near death emaciated.
Oh, look at that. Look at the head nod. Look at that reaction. I'm going to take that back. Have a look at this. Look at the run-of-the-mill child abuse. This is child torture. And when you have cases like this, yes, the kids have been removed from their abuser, but they're dealing with the injuries still. I spoke to a reporter at Fox 13, and she said that the children were so emaciated that it's not even like failure to thrive. Like they were emaciated. Like, look at the head going. The head's going.
And she said that the children were so emaciated that it's not even like failure to thrive. Like they were emaciated. Like near death.
What was that all about?
Death, emaciated. Like they needed medical care immediately. Thank you for the badges for those of you. I'm sorry I've not been responding. I'm not really looking at my chat. Unfortunately, like the rules for YouTube have already changed in terms of like her channel is gone. She deleted her channel. They are not with a familial custodian. They're in protective custody with
I thought
DCFS. And DCFS will never say where the child is located, and no family member should be telling the public where the children are, because the children are in protective custody because they are victims of a crime. So their location should be really none of our concern, other
well, she's still talking about it.
than the fact that DCFS has them in protective custody, meaning that they're being, this is like protective custody, just to give you sort of an understanding. There's another case that I've done in the same county, and it's children that were kidnapped and sex trafficked in the FLDS, and those children that are in protective custody are not with the family. They
So what was the other case that she did?
generally keep the children away from the family when they're in protective custody. And it's no one's business where the children are, who has the children. The state is taking care of them. They're
She wants to know, though, doesn't she?
in protective custody. They're being cared for as victims of a crime.
You know, and if you really cared, if she really cared about the children, she wouldn't be talking about what happened to them, to be honest with you. She'd be talking generally, not specifics like she does.
So the agency will never tell you where the children are, and it's none of the public's business. And the family should not ever be disclosing publicly where the children are. Children that are in foster care and in state custody they have confidentiality and privacy laws for them, and nobody is supposed to know who has the child, especially in abuse cases. They are not with their father.
Again, she says it with such certainty as if she knows everything.
There's a lot of assumptions going on right now. They're not with the dad. They're not with the family. They're in protective custody.
A lot of assumptions going on. Amazing how much her reporting differs from everyone else's. So she's saying they're in protective. She just talked about how many assumptions are going on, but she just did a whole pile of assumptions easy before.
And frankly, where the children are is nobody's business. They're victims in this case.
Well, stop talking about it.
And I don't know anything about the dad. That's a good question. I have to go because my husband's leaving to take my son's friend home. Yeah, I know that their last name is Frankie. I mispronounced.
What she's saying means that later down the track, she will expose them, not somebody else. Correct. Terry says she's a gossip channel, nothing more. Now, we're 12 minutes in, and she says she's got to go because her son's friend's got to go home. But we've still got another 10 minutes yet.
It. Thank you for your snarky comment. Yeah, yesterday he was listed as a professor, and now he's not. They're both charged with the abuse. Both Ruby and Judy are both charged. And the maximum is 15 years in this case. They got 6 charges each. Yep, 3 counts, 3 for RF and 3 for EF. And they are both denied bail. They've both been deemed a threat to the community and to the victims, and they are both deemed flight risks.
There are some crimes in Australia that you automatically don't get bail on. In most situations, and I'm only talking about Australia, in where possible, they like to give bail because they don't want the jails clogged up. And the courts are so clogged up at the moment that many, if they kept them in custody, they would have their sentence completed before it's even heard. So for the majority of the cases, they like them to have bail. But there are certain crimes, like these crimes and the big major crimes, where they won't bail them.
Ruby, I keep saying Ruby. Ruby does not have currently does not have a attorney listed yet, and nor does Jody.
Oh. She's keeping track of the case.
AF and JF are not listed as victims in this case. Now, this is an indictment of this specific issue. If they were to find evidence related to the other kids, that would be a whole separate case.
Terry says, "Oh my, she got her lips plumped after her face infection." Well, she said it was staph earlier on, right at the start of this, but she'd been denying that it was staph.
Being kept in separate areas of the jail, and it's usually co-defendants are not allowed to speak to each other. The children are 10 and 12.
Also, let me tell you that in Australia, in the evidence law, that codependents don't have to give evidence against the other. It's an exemption, interestingly enough.
In Utah, generally, they do them consecutively. I asked the reporter at Fox 13, and she said generally they're done concurrently. But if it's a level 2 felony or...
Oh, she said consecutively and then concurrently. Well, listen.
In Utah, generally, they do them consecutively. I asked the reporter at Fox 13, and she said generally they're done concurrently.
So she's contradicted herself in one sentence. I'll do it again, show you again.
In Utah, generally, they do them consecutively. I asked the reporter at Fox 13, and she said generally they're done concurrently. But if it's a level 2 felony or higher, they can do consecutively. It just depends on the way the judge decides to sentence. But they can only be sentenced to a maximum of 30 years. They have weird sentencing laws. Like life in prison in Utah is 5 years to life. It's very weird. They have very antiquated laws for their sentencing. This is, yeah, just my washed out hair color.
Her washed out hair color.
If your only reason to come on my live is to correct how I'm speaking and to make comments as though to start drama when we're literally talking about children that have been abused, you can exit this live and find something to do with your happy time. I'm discussing children that have been abused, and I did misspeak earlier in my video and said Frank instead of Frankie. But guess what? The news reporter at Fox 13 in Utah, in her report yesterday, she also called her Frank. So there you go. It is Frankie. But if your concern is to direct me and come at me, the issue is not about me. It's about Ruby, who is a child abuser, alleged, and her friend.
Oh, she said alleged finally. Remember, everything is alleged, and there is a presumption of innocence.
Yeah, and there was audio of the 911. And yeah. And when I made the video yesterday, I knew during editing that I'd already mispronounced her name. I knew it was Frankie, but for whatever reason, I just kept saying Frank because that's what it looks like when you're reading the court records. It doesn't look like Frankie. It looks like Frank. Okay. Your entire community is so pissed off. I don't know who your community is, but the local community, according to the report, so I did an interview with Fox 13, which is...
That's the third time she's mentioned that in this live.
The local Salt Lake Fox, whatever. It's just their local CBS, ABC, Fox. She said that the local...
If it's Fox 13, it would be the local Fox. Come on.
Okay. Your entire community is so pissed off. I don't know who your community is, but the local community, according to the report, so I did an interview with Fox 13, which is the local Salt Lake Fox, whatever. It's just their local CBS, ABC, Fox.
We need a Fox count. Hey, what does the Fox say? I wonder if she's getting paid per Fox.
She said that the local community is just outraged, and a lot of people knew that this abuse was happening, but no one knew it was to this extent.
I don't know, Bo. I've got no idea.
I don't know who. I don't know.
Oh, look at those lipsies.
She said that the local community is just outraged, and a lot of people knew that this abuse was happening, but no one knew it was to this extent. I don't know.
We're just gonna pause it there for a minute. Is it, Bo? It's around the country. Okay. I just like how she put in CBS and ABC in there. And it's just like CBS or ABC or Fox. It's like, well, it's Fox. I'm just going to leave it there just for a couple of seconds for you to just. Actually, that would be a good screenshot, wouldn't it? I haven't frozen. I'm just letting you admire that picture.
Who, I don't know anything about the children other than the victims in this case. It's very reminiscent of the Turpin case for sure. It's a lot like how Jordan had to escape from the window. I know the reporter today spoke with some neighbors in the area who were crying when they saw the kids. Like, you have to understand, these kids were
Enough torches.
so severely malnourished and emaciated that their physical presence and the sight of them and how abused they were made the people that they went to go see to get help from start crying. Like, that's how abused these little kids were. The man that called 911 was crying. It's horrible. And it's horrible to think that they still have a Facebook community. I know that, so Sherry was saying to have them Facebook shut down, their YouTube channels and their Facebook pages and their Facebook groups. That's probably the last thing that the police are going to want to happen right now. The police are not going to want anything deleted. They're not going to want any of the groups deleted. They're not going to want any of the DMs deleted. They're going to want access to all of that. So yes, we don't want people to participate in these groups, but at the same time, they should not be deleted because law enforcement needs access to those.
Imagine that image coming to you. Yes, the Queen of Delete is saying they shouldn't be deleting anything.
It's hard to know what, here's the thing. I just want to put this in your shoes. Josh Duggar committed crimes, okay?
Oh, everything goes back to Josh Duggar. Everything comes back to Josh Duggar.
Do we hold his sisters responsible for what Josh Duggar did? Do we expect his sisters to have known that he was looking at child pornography, and do we hold them responsible for that? There's only so much you can do to get law enforcement involved, and especially if there's not probable cause. If there's no probable cause, they can't see the kids, they can't get into the children. They didn't have enough for a search warrant. Neighbors had been reporting her to CPS for months. Apparently, in the beginning of 2022, she blacked out all the windows. She put paper over all the windows and sheets over all the windows, and she would leave the kids at home by themselves for weeks at a time. She cut off contact from her sisters. She's estranged from her husband. I don't know what the hell happened to this woman, other than Jody is a monster.
She blamed them. I thought somewhere she said YouTube had deleted them.
If I win the Fox News, when that story goes live, I'll see if I can link it. I don't know how long it's going to be. But Lucy, the reporter.
How many counts are we up to now? And she's mentioned the reporter a couple of times too. Is that 4 times now, short order?
Reporter talked to someone that lived with, I think she said, with Jody, and called her a monster. Jody is horrible.
You nearly turned it into a drinking game. Every time she says Fox, take another drink. Is that, yes, from the pro-defamation, correct?
So Jody used to be a therapist that was on a list that the LDS church had. So she used to get referrals from the LDS church as a licensed counselor. And so she was an approved counselor through
a shot, you reckon?
Through the church for resource that they would resource people to and be like, this is a Mormon that you can go to for licensed therapy. So she is connected to the church. She just is no longer on their lists. I've heard the dispatch audio, the ones that came out yesterday. There's only one set of audio that came out. Please refrain from using their full names in the comments section. I think she's divorced because she doesn't have a husband, but she does have kids. Yeah, this case.
You do know that you don't have to be married to have kids anymore?
This is really sad. You're friends with the CTV Channel 2 anchor. Yeah, the details are horrible. Just speaking to the reporter at Fox 13, I was like horrified what she's learned from.
Shot.
the community and from their neighbors. But like, yeah, just she would literally leave the kids for weeks at a time. Usually there's not like cameras in Utah courts.
I'm counting how many times she looks right from that.
They would have to specifically ask for video
Hey, Vanadra.
to be in the courtroom. Yes, R&E were isolated. I don't know where Kevin is. Kevin wants custody of the kids, and frankly, I don't think that would be a good idea, but that's just my opinion. I think the kids need to be away from the family right now.
Stay positive. All right, so we've got 4 minutes left. How many more times can we fit the word fox in? So we've had 5 mentions.
Because I feel like anyone in the family could influence the kids negatively and impede on their ability to testify if they need to testify. So they're going to protect the kids and keep them as safe as possible, so they can't be tampered with. They're victims, but they're also witnesses, so they're going to be protected at a different level. But I don't think that being with the family for the kids right now would be healthy, because it's clear that this family has a very unhealthy dynamic. I mean, I don't want to get mad at the sisters, but I think the last concern for the sisters at this point in time would be their YouTube careers. My personal opinion would be that if you have a niece and a nephew that have been tortured, the last thing I would be thinking.
Bo says, no, I've heard at least 2 audios that have come out. 911 called inside the house audio looking for the panic room the kids are in. Interesting.
Thinking about is uploading content onto my YouTube channel and putting out a video stating that these things just happen and we're just so sorry and we're so glad they're safe. Clearly the sister was very upset, but it's just not necessary. And legally speaking, lawyers are going to be all over that. Chad is an adult. I think he goes to college at BYU. Yeah, Bonnie's video about like, do I go on? Do I still post my content? Like, no, Bonnie, no. This would be a good time, Bonnie, for you to reflect on what's happened in your family's life. And it would be a good time for you to think about how for the last 3 years, you've known that these children have been abused and you've continued to make content online exploiting your own children without regard for the safety and well-being of your nieces and nephews.
She's telling somebody what they can and can't do.
Kevin just wants custody of his kids. But I don't know that would happen right now. Yeah, she did talk about silver linings. Her whole video was in my reels, so if you need to see what Bonnie said, check it out. She deleted it already. Okay, I have to go downstairs. Her first appearance is September 8th. It says, I have the full chart.
Ooh, she's laughing. She's smiling again. Look. Watch.
Okay, I have to go downstairs. Her first appearance is September 8th. It says,
Look. She's so excited about that.
I have the full charged indictment. Oh, she's a counselor at BYU, so she probably knows Kevin. That's the community she's talking to, because Kevin worked at BYU. Kevin did not have very good reviews as a professor. Let's just say a lot of people called him an asshole. I will check my DMs, Colleen. I'm actually, I'm on a live stream, Colleen. I don't know if you know this, but when you're on a live stream, you can't check your DMs. All right. Think good thoughts.
Is she doing the okay sign? Hang on. Let's do this again.
Ben just wants custody of his kids. But I don't know that would happen right now. Yeah, she did talk about silver linings. Her whole video was in my reels, so if you need to see what Bonnie said, check it out. She deleted it already. Okay, I have to go downstairs. Her first appearance is September 8th. It says,
there we go. She's smiling.
I have the full charged indictment. Oh, she's a counselor at BYU, so she probably knows Kevin. That's the community she's talking to, because Kevin worked at BYU. Kevin did not have very good reviews as a professor. Let's just say a lot of people called him an asshole. I will check my DMs, Colleen. I'm actually, I'm on a live stream, Colleen. I don't know if you know this, but when you're on a live stream, you can't check your DMs. All right.
Look. Smiling again with the symbol. Wow.
Think good thoughts for the kids. They have a long road of recovery. and I'll just continue to keep you updated. I posted the affidavit earlier. I'll be posting the indictments later. So try to stay out of the fray. No, some of them aren't fake. A lot of them are from like years ago. You can read them from like more than a year ago. So stay out of the fray, stay out of the rumor mill. Just focus on the facts.
Oh, here's the start of it. For those of you that missed it,
I just want to see if people like get excited because they see my face. I'm showing my face.
This is the start.
I just want to see if people like get excited because they see my face. I'm showing my face. Hello. It's me.
That's the journalist. Ugh, and since we've started that, I'm now sitting in the dark. I'm sitting in darkness because I need to get up and put the light on. I look like a ghost now. I might just turn my thing off. Yes, so that's where we are with all of this. You can see scars on both of her cheeks. Well, she said it was a staph infection. Terry, she says, but she had said it wasn't a staph infection. Now it's a staph infection. So you work it out because I can't keep up. So, you know, as you know. So I'm a bit I thought her cheeks were a little bit bigger, but she's saying that's because she's eaten more. She's put on more weight, but I don't know. You know, you can still cover this story with integrity. And it's just... And it's funny how she suddenly returned to the state. The day she returns, the day that she returns to fate, like she does a live, is the same day that she was interviewed. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny that she gets interviewed for Fox 13, but then suddenly her face is okay to be on camera? And that's what I'm finding to be very interesting. Like Jocelyn Weinstein, who said she's never had any work done here. Plan to Create says that's why she went live, to brag. Of course, it was about bragging. Of course. The other thing is she also did a post where she cleared up rumors. 7M is not until October because they're still in the discovery period, I believe. Remember, they had another 60 days for discovery. So it says, without a crystal ball, is aware of a lot of rumors and speculation surrounding the very public case about Ruby Franke and Jodi Hillebrand. WACB will clear up a few pieces. So here's my question. Is she still saying these are facts, or is she saying that if she's saying that she's clearing up rumors, right? How does she know that they're facts, and why she says they'll clear up a few pieces because there's rumors swirling around? What's the authority that gives her that? Utah court records are public but require an account for access. The court lists active cases and pretrial probable cause determinations. Ruby's case was filed yesterday under the probable cause determination. WOCB has obtained all records filed yesterday for both Jodie Hillbrandt and Ruby Franke in Utah courts. Rumours are swirling that Jodie and Ruby are not being released due to fears that they will delete evidence. This is false. The reason they are being held without bond is much graver. The child that escaped had severe injuries that needed immediate medical care. The child's condition was so severe due to the malnourishment and numerous open and severe wounds from the abuse. This condition left first responders stunned and neighbours in tears. The child was listed as severely abused. They were held without bond because the danger they pose to the child and general public. Judge said they also pose a flight risk if released. To be fair, they always, one of the reasons too that the prosecution will always use against bail is a flight risk. So, but as I said, usually the more severe the crime, the less likely they are to get bail. While there is interest in Ruby's daughters for additional evidence, police recovered so much evidence at the scene for the children that Ruby's charges were upgraded to a second-degree felony and the most severe for child abuse in the state. Of course, Terry, she thinks she's famous. And she's going to be untouchable. You know what she's going to do? She's going to say, 7M, see, I told you I was a journalist. There is so much evidence to prove their case right now due to how severely abused the children were. Again, how does she know that? Has she seen what the police have got? You can't say that as a fact. Because remember, everything is alleged. Anybody that has anything to do with law will tell you it's all alleged. The children were listed as in the care of Jodie Hillbrandt. They had been staying with her when asked by the police. The child did not know where their mum lived. Jodie Hillbrandt's online courses are extremely abusive towards children. She deems children evil in distortion if they do anything that isn't truth. This can be simply things like not obeying. She says children are not permitted privacy, don't own any of their belongings, and she promotes abusive techniques for discipline. Ruby has been an avid follower of Jodie's for years. Ruby's neglect and abuse of the kids grew increasingly more severe when she became involved with Jodie. And it says Jodie has been accused of brainwashing her followers. So, again, she's saying that she's aware of a lot of rumours and she's cleaning up the rumours. So, is she stating all this as fact? Because I hope for her sake that that there is a solid case and that they can get a conviction. I would hate to think that because she's opened up her big mouth and stating this as fact, that there's going to be trouble. So she's called clearing up Ruby Franke arrest rumors. So again, she's implying that she's the only one to go to for the correct information. And how? How does she know that? Well, Fox, Terry, at the start of the video, there's a lot of comments on the YouTube video that have called Fox out for it. So, yeah. If the kids were in Jodie's care, Ruby could be innocent of the immediate stuff. Sorry. Ruby, I mean, I'm just putting down, I'm just turning on my light. Yes, I mean, if they've been in Jodie's care, then the current stuff could see Jodie. Well, she could be she could be an accessory. But yeah, it's an interesting, very interesting thing, and I'm a believer that you have to let law enforcement do their job. You can report on everything responsibly. I think the way the reporter did it was, was just the facts. This is what she's been charged with. This is what's happened. That's how you do it. But you don't say, I'm clearing up rumors, and then put out more speculation. Again, where is the evidence of all of this? This is my evidence law textbook. Oops, you probably can't. I'll have to turn the background off. Hang on. I'll turn the background off. Oh. And I apologize for what's in the background. You'll see why. You'll see why I have it. Why I have the background in a minute. Right. Here we go. See, I've got a green screen. This is my evidence law. So, it's very. She starved her kids to get that. Yes, yeah. As I said, I don't think Ruby is whatever her name is innocent, but she could be innocent of the current stuff. No, it hasn't burst. It hasn't bursted. It hasn't gone into flames yet. But it's very interesting. As I said, I mean, I don't know how evidence and everything about what can be admitted. And interestingly, one of the things that you can't talk about is previous crimes if it's not related to the crime that's before the court. So you can't actually dig up somebody's record if you're going there on a theft charge, but you murdered somebody. They can't hold the murder against you if you've for a theft charge, or if it was the other way around. It's a very, very interesting. Very interesting how that happens. So a lot of the digging that she's doing would be in vain in Australia because that type of behavior, and that only comes up in sentencing. Really, it can't be used against you for the judgment of the crime of which you are at the court for. All of that comes out later when you do sentencing, and then you get into character. But a character can't be used. Yeah. So anyway, as I said, I'm doing a essay on approximate evidence and approximate truth and absolute truth, and why the courts tend to use approximate truth rather than absolute truth. So anyway. And often any evidence has to be about the fact in issue. So if it's not about the fact in issue and it's not relevant, then you can't do it. Let's forget that. Oh dear. Anyway, I think I need to get back to my essay. I'm, been on here for an hour and a half, distracted. I've done enough distraction. Thank you for joining me. And look, I have, if Vedandra's still around, I have filmed another plan with me. I'm really enjoying the Hobonichi. I'm really enjoying that I've got it all in the months, the week, and the days, all in the one book. But yeah. And so for all of you on the replay crew, thank you for hanging around. You can't wait for Dandra? That's good. I'll see you later. You love the Hobonichi. Plan to create. You did ask me to test out that new paper. I liked it. It was really good. So it was really helpful. I have to put in another order too soon. Coming in out. Yeah, I'm really enjoying the Hobonichi. And that one came straight from Japan. My daughter brought it back from Japan. I know she's going to ask me what do I want for my birthday. I'll tell her I want another one. Tell her she's going to go back to Japan. She said, I went into a shop and I said, do you have a Hobonichi cousin? And they took her over it. Plan to Create does have beautiful stickers. Yes, she does. Yeah. So I just don't have enough time to do multiple, because I do like the Stellargy. I just don't have the time at the moment to do the multiple planners. So I've just the one. I just find because I can put everything in the month. I can put everything in the monthly that I need to do, and then I just do the week. But that's pretty predictable and boring though. Although we've got holidays coming up soon, so. And I have an exam on my birthday, so that's going to be fun. And around that time, I have to find the money to pay the uni fees because I got a delay. That's a whole Plan to Create. For those of you in Australia, you would have known that Hex indexed earlier this year, and that hit me at my limit. So if I want to continue the study, I actually have to pay it all up front. And I'm trying to pay down my Hex and the uni at the same time, because apparently it happened earlier, but they didn't tell me until it was too late. So I can do this semester, but I won't get my results unless I pay. So, but yeah, the indexing got me. So anyway, fun, hey? And they told me that the day after, scholarships closed as well. So I've got to try and find a scholarship to continue. But anyway, yeah, that's fun, hey? So I might be having to defer for 12 months to try and save some money and work full time just to try and get the money that I need to pay off the uni and get my Hex back. Yeah, all right. Anyway, that's my fun and games. Anyway, I want to thank you all for joining me. And yeah, I'll catch you again next time. There'll be a video up tomorrow. And I hope you like the little fun shorts. I like to have, like to be a bit silly sometimes and show you a different side of myself. But anyway, thank you all for watching, and I will catch you all again later.